Yo guys, got another game analysis today, so let's get into it. This is going to be a game as China. Yeah, we got a load of extra mods as well actually. Unique components, extra wonders, extra events, pontoon bridges. Crazy stuff. But yeah, hopefully it will still be similar to VP experience, and we'll look at the unique component stuff as well. Alright, so here it is. The Mandate of Heaven ability. So, creating great works or gaining cities grants Wheel of the Empress Day. +1 gold and food in all cities. It's like a permanent thing. Declines by 50% every era. +10% food during Wheel of the Empress Day. Though I think it already naturally gives, plus... a normal Wheel of the King Day is +10 or 20% or something anyway. Actually don't even know. Extra food, so just a lot of extra food really, and a bit of extra money. Yep, that's pretty much it. And I guess all the other bonuses you get from Wheel of the King Days, usually you'll get more of them because you get them when you get the Great Works and New Cities. Okay, now this is the normal VP stuff. So Chuko Nu, unique crossbowman. Unit deals splash damage to enemy units, unlike the crossbowman which it replaces. It's got something to do with being near cities. We'll check it out in the game. Papermaker, unique library. Basically a bit of extra culture and gold, with the gold during Wheel of the Empress Days as well. So, not amazing, but quite early obviously, so a decent bonus. And libraries are something you want to go for anyway. As early as you can. Oh wow, they actually have a decent capture chance as well. I thought unique buildings, you normally can't capture them, or it's unlikely that you will. There we go. Okay, this is a unique frigate. Generates influence every turn when stationed within a city-state's borders. I mean, that sounds pretty nice, man. And a broadside promotion for free. I think that maybe means you can go straight into logistics as well, so these are probably pretty insane. I don't know how much influence they give, but just getting influence for putting one in a city-state's borders is quite nice, isn't it? Hopefully you don't lose influence for being in a city-state's borders that you're not friends with. I don't know, but maybe that's the way it's balanced, because this sounds very powerful. Okay, examination hall free or replaces the chancery. Whenever a citizen is born, gain 15 points towards great person with the highest progress, scaling with era. And +2 gold to great works in the city, and then normal chancery stuff. That sounds really good, I have to say. Yeah. +15 points scaling with era, and you get them put in the one with the highest progress as well. So you could just start off a great person in a city, and then you know that it's just going to keep adding on to that one, unless you overtake it with a different thing. So these are the two extra ones. These are the two normal VP ones. These both seem very good, to be honest. China is a weird civ though, I have to say. I don't think I've ever played a late game with them, so I don't have a good read on how good this stuff is. I guess you will generally have quite a few Wheel of the King Days later on. So you'll get the +10% food during them. And I guess you can get them more consistently if you can't somehow get the luxury. This stuff is very useful early game. Like, say when you first make a city on a flat land, it will have 3 food, 1 production. I think you get this bonus straight away, so you get +4 food and then +1 gold. So at the start, that's like a really nice bonus to have. And then obviously when you settle a few cities, you'll get a decent bonus. But it does decline by 50% every era, so I doubt you're ever going to be getting much more than maybe 5, maybe between 5 and 10. So that's not like the most meaningful thing later on, but I guess it does build up throughout the game, like you'll have it for the whole game. So, and it's in every city as well. I don't know, it's hard to judge. It's just a weird one because this kind of bonus seems like it would suit a progress empire where you are wide with a lot of cities and they could all be good with a decent amount of food and making gold too. But realistically, getting the bonus, you get them for gaining cities as well, so that's conquering and great work. So that's going to be more from like tradition for the great works or authority from the gaining cities. So it's definitely a bit of a choice about which policy to go for. I guess the thing is that food is going to be most useful for tradition, probably. Like, maybe, and probably least useful for authority, because you don't want to have happiness problems. So I would lean towards tradition, just because you'll get more of these bonuses and they'll actually do more. And this seems like a pretty insane building. And obviously this one quite nice. For getting the city-state alliances while simultaneously actually having a navy. Meaning you can defend city-states. So tradition, statecraft stuff might actually work a bit better as China than, well, with unique components than anyone else. So that's what I would lean towards, I guess. Without these, probably still tradition might be the best, but fairly equal between them. Like authority and progress, worth considering as well, depending on the land. But I guess, like I said, I'm not convinced about how good the bonuses actually are. I'm not sure how powerful China actually is generally, or like what the most powerful strategy is with them, because maybe most civs are a bit more specific but more powerful in that one way, whereas this is quite general but maybe doesn't have quite as much potential as other civs without these two things. Anyway, let's see the start here. So we got a lot of forest and jungle, which obviously means I would be thinking of going for Goddess of Renewal, +1 faith, culture and science for every 2 jungle or forest tiles worked by a city, +2 food and science from markets. Big fan of this one if you can get a religion from it, especially in a wide empire. I guess it doesn't synergize too well with tradition because you'll usually want to chop down trees and stuff and put great person improvements around. But it could probably still work. Let's have a bit of a look around. Okay. I guess probably want to see what's over here. Yeah, I mean now's the choice of just settling in place or moving there. I mean there's some hills as well. Seems like the the 3 food 1 production would be nice. There's a lot of good tiles to work around here. With all of these, 2 food 1 production or 1 food 2 production tiles from all the trees. So the food could be nice and it would help get more of these bonuses early on, which seems like it would be the best pantheon. So I would say settling here makes the most sense. And then yeah, you straight away get the extra food and gold from the trait. work that. Then monument or shrine. I guess depends on if you're going to go tradition, you go monument, authority or progress. If you want the renewal, then you'd want to go for the shrine first. The reason you go monument as tradition is you can get this policy second and +3 faith, and also there's the option of going monument into Stonehenge. Yeah, there are some more wonders in here, but I'm not going to talk about them because I don't really have time to go through like every single one of them, find out if they're strong or not, so we'll just, think about the normal ones. So Stonehenge makes a bit of sense. I guess other pantheons to consider. Tutelary gods. It doesn't give a lot of faith. Only +1 for quite a while. Maybe if you get an engineer, another +1. But obviously does give a lot of production and gold. Probably could be possible to get a religion with that and tradition. Oh yeah, this game is on Emperor, Epic Speed, Shuffle Map by the way. So definitely on Emperor you could get a religion with that and tradition. Probably not, I don't know, probably not on higher difficulties. Then there's beauty as well, you could go Stonehenge into beauty. Or I guess possible to just go God of Creation and say whatever to religion. That's always an option as well, especially with progress and authority stuff, I think. But yeah, pretty sure I would go for a renewal here, and I think I would just go tradition as well. Get a monument, get Stonehenge, because there's a lot of nice tiles that can be used to build Stonehenge quicker. You get a decent amount of faith straight away and get straight into the renewal pantheon, and hopefully be up to pot 4 relatively quickly with the bonus food. And then go and settle some more cities for extra bonuses. See what we would have got here. Mate, that is quite something. That is quite something. I would feel very, very good about this star with renewal and stuff. Yeah. I guess one other thing worth mentioning is that you got citrus as your resource. Plantation on citrus is +1 food, +1 gold. So nothing particularly good there. So definitely a good place to put great person improvements on, and you get the monopoly of +2 science. If you can get the monopoly as well, so that's pretty nice also. And then amber's another good place to put great person improvements on. So yeah, man, I would feel very good about this. I would probably go wheel and just go straight for writing. Try and get great library as tradition. But if not, just get the paper makers anyway, it's still good. Get a trade route. Could consider Temple of Artemis, but probably not necessary unless Goddess of Beauty. Though it does give the +25% production to archery units, doesn't it? That is one of the unique units. So that's nice. And then I guess could use the free tech to either just go straight for Parthenon. You get a free great work in that one, so I assume that counts for the bonus. Or could go for mathematics and hanging gardens for the extra food. That is always a nice one. If went for progress. I would probably still actually go for writing. Maybe even still go for Great Library, or just build these everywhere. And then look for one of the... Maybe there's another wonder that gives like bonuses to all cities. Could go progress with a shrine and then go for Temple of Artemis. Would be decent. Oh yeah, one other thing, we get the market soon as well, which works well with the Renewal Pantheon for the +2 food and 2 science. Makes markets, really good. +2 food, +2 science, +3 gold. Pretty good for one building there. Yes, and authority, maybe I would even still go writing. You could go trapping soon to get the archers, since you know you want to upgrade them into these guys later on, get some experience on them, and kill barbs, obviously. And then you always got to think about terracotta army if you're authority. Could even be worth going straight for it, but maybe I would go writing into it. Something like that. Okay, we'll actually have a look at this promotion properly. So it's just this promotion. Plus 25% combat strength when adjacent to or in a city. Deals 5 damage to all enemy units adjacent to targeted unit. So yeah, 5 splash damage. I guess that's just permanent. And then this is the thing. Adjacent or in a city. That's a bit weird. That sounds more like a defensive thing than an offensive thing. Because you wouldn't normally put your crossbowman like next to an enemy city. I assume the bonus still counts if you're next to an enemy city, but yeah, you definitely normally want like your longswordsman or something next to the city, because you know they're going to take damage, and when you're defending it's going to use the melee strength, not the range strength. So you'd have 15 strength here rather than 22 here. I guess the 25% bonus actually is combat strength, so it will count for defending as well, but it will be applied to the 15, not the 20. I guess 25% of that would be an extra 4 or something. It could work. They could be. I'm sure you'd lose some, but I guess they're not the most expensive unit to actually make, since they're only 240 production anyway. So you could spam them out, and potentially they could make quite good units for attacking cities. What is a crossbowman like? So they're basically the same strength as crossbowmen, just with the promotion. Definitely worth getting a lot of them. You can upgrade them into the later units, and having ranged units are generally pretty useful anyway. And what is this boat then? +2 influence per turn. Don't you lose 5 though if you're not friends with them or something? Is it 5? You definitely lose a few. And then that, pretty sure that is the naval range. Yeah, you get straight into logistics, which is the really good promotion on ranged boats, because it also allows you to move after attacking, which you can't do with frigates onwards at the moment. So those guys are pretty insane as well, but no coastal start here. Fair enough. Well, those would be my plans. Let's have a look at what you did. Okay, turn 100 here. So we have gone for Mausoleum. Okay. And going into writing now. This is on Epic, so yeah. Okay, tutelary gods pantheon. Yes. It is, I mean, 3 production is just insane early on, man. Really, really insane. So obviously there's a good pantheon as long as you can get a religion from it. But not a huge amount of faith. So yeah, you're building the shrines first. Which is the correct thing to do, and buying them too. So I guess it's possible to still get a religion with a city-state ally as well. That is pretty damn useful, it seems. What do they give? +3 faith per turn. Okay, did go for progress. Fair enough. Feels like our yields per turn is a bit low. Probably because we didn't go writing straight away. Went for this. Which doesn't really give anything apart from the wonder. +2 culture. 3 stoneworks and 10% of those things during We Love the King Day or Empress Day. And you settled here instead of here. I guess because this says city must be built on a hill. Which must be part of the mod. And this, yeah, this says it needs flat terrain, so bit of a choice there. I didn't want to settle on the hill on my idea because I was going for the forest pantheon, so it would just be chopping one down. And also you don't want to kill your like forest or jungle triangles in my opinion, because you can build like the lumber mill on them and they get the adjacency bonuses. And yeah, I liked the plus food rather than the plus production as well. But okay. Zulu's pretty close over here. We've got a city in between us and them. On a hill, yeah. Okay. 2 more cities up here. Arabia pretty close as well. I mean, there's so much forest and jungle here, man. I feel like all of these cities are going to be really good. So, progress is definitely not bad. Yeah, I just thought tradition was likely to be more powerful throughout the game with the bonuses, but this is definitely good progress land. Like, all of these cities have good food and production, especially with the Pantheon. And then progress is pretty good at providing the other yields. You get the culture from buildings and science from city connections, and you just try and get all the cities built up, as well as getting the bonuses when you get a new pop, which you should have a good amount of food with the bonuses. What is it on? +4 at the moment. Still in ancient era from the 4 cities. Cool. And then yeah, this one is 3 and that one will be 2 and that one will be 1. Nice. Okay, blocked growth. I guess that makes sense. You want these 2 cities to grow instead and stay happy, and you've locked these at 3 because that's what you need for the Pantheon. Fair enough. You know, I probably wouldn't have thought of doing that, honestly. I would have just gone unhappy and then waited for a resource to bring it back, because you haven't connected any of them yet, but we are getting some. I mean, maybe not necessary, but I guess good that you're thinking about this kind of stuff. There's a lot of good tiles for these cities to work though, man. Just the more pop they get, the better they're going to be. Probably just screw the border there, I'm assuming, because it seems like you've locked the best tiles in general elsewhere. Cool. We got 6 military units already. It's actually quite a few. 3 workers already building the roads. Though we're not going to have this bonus for a while. Probably mildly better to wait for that or at least to be close to getting this, because right now you're going to be spending more on maintenance than you are going to be getting any bonuses from the city connection. Just do all the plantations and stuff, and then start doing the roads when you get close to fraternity, or when you need it for like strategic reasons, if you think you're going to get attacked. Okay, Byzantium over here as well. Fair enough. Okay, let's check out the final save file, or most recent one. Okay, cool. Turn 146. Man, our yields have taken a huge increase. They were on plus 11 each, and now 48 and 18. Crazy. We've got writing, building the paper mills. Okay, we're a bit behind on text. 6 cities out though. 5 into progress. Yeah, I guess the fraternity bonuses as well. And you're about to get another city connection there. Three city-state alliances as well. I like to see that, you know? Pretty early in the game to have 3 already. Good stuff. Okay, we just got religion, right? Right. Turn 146. Alright. Cool. I'm gonna read the message now, and then we'll take a look at it. So, I wanted to mess around and try to get maximum Wheel of the Empress Day bonuses. I rushed to settle the first city of Shanghai before Shaka could, so that city might not be the best location, but I feel it is very defensible. My neighbours have not been a problem at all so far, but I've been keeping up the military to try and prevent them from declaring on me. I went tutelary god, so early game I won't fall behind in production, and I feel it works well with Progress China getting cities to pop 3 for the production, and keeping them there so I don't become unhappy. As for my religion, I wanted to keep pressing the wheel of the Empress Day bonuses. For my next policy tree I want to go either fealty or artistry, but can't decide between the two, and I'm thinking industry as the last one. I'm happy with my current 6 cities, but I kinda want to go settle to the northeast of Nanjing to get the incense and coffee, but I refrained from it as I think it would not be worth trying to defend. Currently on tech I'm looking for ironworking to get the forges and free great work. Then I'm rushing for education for Oxford and the examination hall to get those great person points. That's the unique chancery thing. City-state has a quest for a great merchant, otherwise I'll be working as a scientist in the capital. I would like to know where you would have put your cities and what pantheon/belief you would have chosen. Otherwise, give me your judgment on how I've played so far and how you would continue this. Cool. Okay. So we'll start off talking about the cities. Yeah, I already mentioned progress. I see why you went for it. Tradition might generally be better though, just because you could still have like 6 cities as tradition, and I think maybe you'd have a stronger late game. But I don't know, progress is nice too. It's just you won't be able to get as many of the bonuses as you would otherwise. Yeah, city location. So this was the one you said you rushed to get out because of the Zulus. And it is on a hill. Can only be shot from here. You honestly could have put it here because they wouldn't have been able to shoot anywhere. Like 2 tiles away. That's kind of how you think about defending cities generally is, will they be able to shoot catapults at me from 2 tiles away? So you could have, like, these 2 would have been reasonable places as well, but this is fine, and it's relatively close to the capital as well. And then one here. I mean, I guess it wouldn't be so good if they attacked here, but they still wouldn't. They'd have to be here to catapult, and that probably wouldn't be great for them, since you've got a road going through here as well. Yeah, it's hard to know exactly where I would have put the cities because I don't know where the forest and stuff was, because I might have wanted to preserve it. There's always the option of settling on the citrus as well, because like I said, the plantations are not that great. I feel like maybe this city is a little bit far away from this one. Maybe I would have wanted it here or something like that. Or even here. I'm not sure it's necessary to have like so much space in between the cities, because almost all the tiles are going to be pretty good and workable, so you're not going to need like that many tiles in each city. And if you'd put them a bit closer, you probably could have had another city here and here, which might have been nice. I mean, you could still settle in here technically. A city there and there might be alright. That would be heavily imposing on them, but yeah, potentially these cities a bit closer, so you could have had more cities within the area that you had. If you don't want to be like warring other people, you just want to be defending your own stuff. Feels like could have used the space a bit more efficiently, but obviously defense is the main priority, especially when you got Zulus as a neighbor. And yeah, the coastal cities, I mean, you've done it here for the one coastal tile. Pretty nice. You obviously do want some coastal cities so you can build some of them boats. Got some whales here too. Yeah, this one has 2 tiles, but wasn't great places to put it. Maybe you could have just put it here on the citrus. Always worth remembering that you can just put the cities on top of those tiles if they don't have a great improvement. So yeah, I probably would have done it a bit differently, but I don't think they're necessarily like badly placed or anything. Just everyone has their own, preferences and stuff, and everyone's going to make a different decision with the same land given to them. But I think you probably do want more than 6 cities with the progress stuff if you're going for a wide empire. Seems like you still have happiness to support it. Yeah, but you could still settle some more, so that's fine. Just might be a little bit spread out. Okay, religion. Yeah, the tutelary gods, like I mentioned, it's just hard to get the religion, but it is obviously a super useful pantheon. It's just a crazy amount of production. I cannot believe it's so good. And you can get to 3 pot pretty quickly in most cities, so yeah, it's very nice. Then founder the We Love the King Day bonus. Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. It's not a belief I would usually go for, just because I feel like some of the other ones are like very good. Like even just Way of Transcendence, which is almost always left in there, does end up giving you quite a lot. It's probably become my favourite for just a general playthrough where you want a bit of everything. I really like this one as well, actually, when you have great people. It gives a lot of faith. And some culture too. But yeah, I mean, I see it. You're going to be getting more of those that We Love the Empress days, so nice to have some bonus yields. And then synagogues, I believe they also give like plus 10% during We Love the Empress Day. Plus 10% science, I believe. and they have extra production too. So yeah, that's all fine. You might not be able to get away with that Pantheon as progress on a higher difficulty, or if you hadn't had the city-state ally, so it might not be the best in that sense. But I guess you could just use it as a Pantheon and use somebody else's religion. Yeah, and you went for the shrines first and like got the last religion, so you can see that it was quite close, even with the city-state ally as well. Did you get an event as well? This is the one that gives +1 culture, +1 faith to shrines. Well, that's the other choice. Man, I think you have to go for that. The +1 culture from shrines. It's a super good one, especially if you're trying to get a religion with this Pantheon. You've got to be a little bit greedy sometimes. But I don't know, maybe the culture helped you get something. But I would almost always go for the +1 faith from shrines if I wanted to do religious stuff. Yeah, city-states, pretty good that we got 3 alliances there. I'm sure that means you were paying attention and doing the missions, which I love to see. It's just free stuff being left on the table if you don't, so very nice. It's a triple mission up here. You gotta go for that one as well. Just get a horse in there and see if you can snipe it. And there's salt mission too. Got salt here. So yeah, doing pretty good on that. I guess some of these are going to become friends in not too long. But you're building the Scriveners. One thing to say on this, I normally wait with it because you will almost always get a mission where someone wants you to build it. So it can get you like another, friendship or alliance from that. But you do get the free emissary that can help you. I guess maybe you want to use it to secure one of these two. So that's fine. Or you could use it just before you get this quest. Although that's a while away. But you use it and then you'll get a little bit more influence. Because when you become friends, the amount you get from city-state quests go up. And then this would get you to alliance. Because I think they give 45 usually at the start. Maybe it's 40. I really should know that stuff. But yeah, I would normally wait until I get the mission, just because it's almost a guarantee. In terms of the buildings, like I said, you needed to go for the shrines first, and you did. And it seems like you've been building the other stuff in pretty correct order as well. The monuments, councils and herbalists. Yeah, no need for the granaries, I think. At this moment, your cities are all growing quite decently anyway. Granaries usually kind of end up being a waste in the outside cities unless you actually need the food. I'm guessing you bought out here as well, which makes sense too. So, pretty good stuff. Yeah, monument, shrine, well. Nice. Some of these investments may be a bit weird. Normally you wait till the last moment. So that you can invest in stuff that you're about to get. You can invest now and then you'd finish this next turn. And probably, I'm not sure what the benefit of investing in all this stuff in the capital is over investing in these guys, because these are the buildings that are going to give a lot of yields, aren't they? And allow you to work scientists if you want. So I probably would have spread the money a bit evenly around to try and get the paper makers as quickly as possible. Unless you want to build a wonder here, I don't see the need to get everything done in the capital while you're still building stuff in the other cities. As progress, you want to get all of your cities to be good, I think. I mean, sometimes it makes sense to build everything in the capital quickly, but I feel like prioritizing these guys is what I would have done. We have built a lot of units as well. I don't know about that. I know you said you... Wait, there was something about you saying you were trying to make people not attack you by building units, which does make sense. They actually went for progress anyway, which is a bit weird. And they got that religion. The thing is, it feels like... So, with your neighbours, at least on this patch, I found they all kind of either decide they like you or hate you fairly early on, and then you having more or less units isn't going to change that. It's only going to mean if they hate you that they're less likely to attack you if you have a big army. But you can kind of see here that Zulus aren't too bothered about you, so I don't know that you need all the units. Normally, since you're making a lot of money, normally I would be like, I'll just build up all my buildings and stuff, and then if I need units I can buy them quickly. And you built all the walls as well, which maybe is a bit premature. I haven't been attacked yet this patch where I haven't known that it's coming. Like, they normally give you some warnings with denouncing and stuff, and you could just station a unit over here so that you could see what they were doing, or the scout or something, so that you'd have a few turns to like invest in walls and get some units. I guess you were using these to kill some barb camps as well to get the alliances though, because you've already got a great general as well. So fair enough. I think maybe, if anything, you could have been a bit more greedy with not building units and walls quite yet though. But not major stuff. Generally, the Empire is looking pretty good in terms of being built up. And obviously the production is helping a lot with that. Now let's talk about tech. So we went into construction first for Mausoleum, and then into writing. Yeah, I can't really comment on the extra wonders, as I said, but I would say this is probably the thing I disagree with that you did the most, which is I really don't think this is necessary. I know you said you wanted to get all the Wheel of the Empress Day stuff, and this does give a bonus to them, but it's just like not that good, I think. 10% production, science and gold, but it's only in one city. Like, if it was nationwide, obviously that would be pretty good, but it's just going to be in the capital. I'm not convinced by it, man. I am not convinced by it. I mean, I guess, what's it going to give? Maybe +2 to each during the Wheel of the Empress days. It's not bad. I just think you could have had writing and maybe some other wonder that gave like a global bonus. Like, you could have got to writing first, built all these, had way more science to go for some other wonders that gave global bonuses. I mean, I'm sure there must be some good ones, because we've ended up like 5 techs behind as a result of going for writing quite late, whereas could have been like fairly equal with them and getting some other wonders instead, like maybe even Temple of Artemis for the global bonus. Normally I would only go Mausoleum if I was going for the stonework anyway, which I guess you kind of did need, but it wasn't like essential, because there's only one stone. Like if you had jade or something as your resource and some stone, stonework is something you really want, so going straight for this can be not a bad idea. But I just think you delayed everything else a little bit more. Like, could have probably been running away with this game, whereas instead everything got delayed to go for this, and probably won't be able to get some of these other wonders. That would have been nice. Maybe you still can on Emperor, but on Deity that would be kind of basically just giving up any chance of any of these wonders on this tech level. And perhaps you could have had Great Library as well, which could have been nice. Yeah, that's my only like major disagreement though, I think. I feel like you play pretty good, man, I have to say. Like, you're locking tiles, doing the city-state quests, building, you know, correct stuff generally. Maybe just could have been a little bit more greedy, as I said. We've got a lot of workers as well. Like, you definitely play very solid. I can see that you're worried about the defense and building walls and stuff. So I'm sure you rarely die in your games. But I would say even maybe you could be playing on a higher difficulty. But if you did that, yeah, I would just say like maybe you could be a bit more greedy, and you can like adjust. Like if Zulu starts going hostile and stuff, then you could adjust and start getting the buildings and units rather than building them first, because you obviously have slowed other stuff down. And potentially try and choose like the most powerful thing. Like, this is nice, but is it the best thing? Because you are sacrificing getting writing and potentially like getting some kind of snowball going on with a Great Library for that, which I don't think gives quite enough. And I suppose I'm not quite sure what the overall like super powerful thing you're going for here is. Like, you said you wanted to go for education for these, which do sound pretty good, but we've gone progress, so we're going more of like a wide empire than a tradition one with the great people. You said you wanted to do the We Love the King Day stuff, so that makes sense to me that you would want like loads of cities that are all making good yields. So yeah, I feel like some wonders that give global bonuses would really be what you want there. And then also we've got loads of military units as well, but not doing conquering stuff. So could be a bit more like focused on one particular goal. But maybe this is still good enough that it will give enough great person points that you will have loads of great people anyway, even without tradition. And then there's the city-state stuff going on as well. Is that something you want to go for? Like, as I mentioned at the start, China is quite a varied civ. You could have quite a few approaches with them. But I still feel like you want to go for one particular thing and then you can kind of adjust as the game goes on. But right now it feels a bit like there's not much of a specific plan of where we're trying to get to. Which you do kind of need. And as for what I would do from this position, well, yes, I actually think I would think about doing some military stuff. Zulus have gone for progress. They're on 18 tech, so they probably have most of these. Feels like you're about to get ironworking for the forges. Give the bonus production with the tutelary gods. You could get the forges and then start pumping out some swordsmen and catapults and see if you could do something to the Zulus, I think, because it doesn't seem like they have a crazy... Well, they actually do have quite a lot of troops, obviously. Give them a little scout. I just feel like you could outproduce them quite a lot with the tutelary gods and all of your nice cities. They've only got 3 right now, you've got 6. I just feel like you could definitely win that battle, and with the synagogues as well. Like, I think you could wear them down. Obviously you wouldn't want to go in straight away, but just declare war with some swordsmen and stuff. Build a load of roads through here so you could get through easily, and I think you could get them eventually. And they have really nice land, man. Like, load more jungle and stuff. A holy city here. Solomon's Mines up here. My feeling is that you could get that done, and then you'd have, like, 8 or 9 cities without having to settle maybe not so good ones in here. That would feel very good. And this is on shuffle, but it looks a lot like a continent's map to me. So it seems like if you did that, you could basically have this continent wrapped up. I doubt these guys would give so much resistance if you already had this land as well. That is genuinely what I think you could try and do, or at least work towards. Get the buildings, get the forges and arenas, and maybe water mills, and then just start producing units, or just use those of archers and see if you can grind them out. Depends if you can get in there with the catapults and swordsmen before castles, because before castles you could potentially take the city, but if not, you'd probably just have to wait a bit until you had like trebuchets and longswordsmen before you could actually take it. But you could definitely do some damage to them, make them weak so that you could kill them later on. And with that in mind, you could go for, orders in this as your next belief. And policies, fealty would make sense for that. But you could also go authority, or do what I kind of did in the Poland game, where you mix a bit of both, because these are the best 3 authority policies. You get the opener and then these 2. And then these are usually the best 3 fealty policies. There is this one actually that you'll probably want. Border growth doubled during We Love the King Day. So maybe you could just go these 2 and these 4. That could be quite powerful. Yeah, I think this is the only synergy with We Love the King Days out of the these policy trees here. I'm not sure I see artistry as a great option, even if you weren't doing war stuff. Like, I guess you will get a lot of great people with the examination hall things. I don't know if it's still gonna do that much with this. I mean, you gotta think this is really the policy tree for going for tourism victory. Like, yeah, it gives a bit of culture, but mostly what it gives is golden age points and tourism compared to the other ones. So, is that really what you want to go for? I would assume not, from what we can see so far. Like, probably a Diplo or a science victory seems more likely. and that would be fealty or statecraft. I mean, statecraft is worth considering, man. Works well with wide empires, and you should be able to get the alliances with those boats. Gives good happiness and stuff. Probably fealty is what I would look towards anyway, and especially if you want to do the conquering stuff. Like, this works really well in a wide empire. You can do the internal trade routes as well if you need them. This bonus, these two are a little weak, so that's where you could go for another policy tree if you wanted, like an opener and something like that. And I think the monasteries would be good as well. So yeah, I like the idea of military stuff. If not, you could just settle some cities here and here. I kind of agree with you that settling over here for the coffee and incense is probably a bit much. I don't know if there's a city place. I guess there technically reaches them both, but probably another city would be settled over here or something. I guess maybe Theodora will come and settle here anyway if you don't, which could be annoying. Though then they're vulnerable to Zulus. But yeah, you don't really want like a city here. They'll have their cataphracts, making your life miserable there. This building does seem very good, even without tradition, so I'm not against going for that. Potentially you might not have the pop for Oxford University though, but these cities are growing quite well. Like I said, I would consider looking at some of these other wonders, if any of them give like nice bonuses to all of your cities. Might want to consider them. That is what I think you want. And a couple of great writers could work quite well as well. I know we get a lot of culture from this, but probably still want some more. It's obviously a lot lower than the science right now, and you want it to keep up. Like Zulu's already on 6 progress. I mean, he's got super good stuff though with the cocoa, giving the +2 culture from all resource tiles. It's good land, man. You gotta go and take it. And for religion, yeah, military stuff, you'll want the orders and potentially zealotry. If not, you could probably go for any of them. Like any of the ones, any of the buildings are nice because it works. With this, you actually get the culture when you construct religious buildings. And there's also, you know, a lot of them just give the flat yields that will probably be quite good when you have a lot of cities with high yields. Do you know one thing actually that I will just mention is this founder belief seems to give the bonus to all of your cities, even the ones that don't actually have your religion. So potentially you could like have a different religion in all of your other cities, like just get some buildings out and then convert them to another religion, and that means you could have a pretty big syncretism bonus. +1 faith, science and production in the holy city for every 2 followers of other religions. So you would still be getting the founder bonus in all your cities, but you would then convert them to a different religion, maybe get their buildings and stuff. And this plantation pantheon isn't terrible. I mean, you got a lot of bananas and citrus as well. And the +1 science and 2 faith from herbalists, they also have the same pantheon. So yeah, you could do that. I mean, try and get a Reformation belief first, and I'd probably be looking at Glory of God for that one. You could take a building one with fealty as well, depending on if you actually need the buildings. Probably you can build most of the buildings anyway with the extra production. So maybe Glory of God. is the best. It kind of usually is. Man, that syncretism idea is really seeming good to me, because you actually have the mausoleum as well. 10% production in science, and the syncretism is +1 science and faith for every or every 2 followers of other religion in own cities. Man, I like it. I think you should go for that. Get a Reformation belief, then convert all your other cities back. You'll lose the tutelary gods pantheon, but that's okay. It will probably become less useful as the game goes on. Nice to get all the buildings first, and then this scales quite nicely once you have a lot of pantheons. And maybe there'll be some other nice religions as well. That sounds pretty good to me. And do the military stuff if you want. I'm pretty sure you can win this game however you want. I just think taking out the Zulus makes your life incredibly easy for the rest of the game. You can just do whatever you want from that point onwards, like conquer these guys or leave them alone, and like not have to worry about anyone really being able to do anything to you. Because I doubt Theodora or Arabia are going to be able to attack you particularly well through the jungle and stuff, and you'll want to get all of those improvements like the lumber mills and logging camps are in machinery. Industry does sound decent. This bonus actually applies to logging camps as well, but then you can get rationalism. It gives +2 science from jungles. It's nice too. Seems like a science victory. It's quite plausible. But I like industry as well. If you go industry and you have the glory of God Reformation belief, you can still get the great scientists as well. So that's nice. And there's another we love the Empress Day bonus in here as well. So yeah, generally I do like what you did. As I said, just probably could have been a bit more greedy and maybe a bit more focused on late game rather than early game, especially if you want to put up the difficulty, which I believe you probably could if you want to, based on what I've seen here at least. Yeah, so cheers for that one, man, and I hope you guys enjoyed. Should be back tomorrow with some more continuation of Morocco, and I will see you there, guys.